It's no secret that agency models are some of the best people to have in front of your camera, especially if you want to be shooting fashion, but should you shoot with them? Why would you? And ultimately, how can you? I've been photographing using agency models for a while now, and these are some things to keep in mind if you're going to be shooting for them, as well as how to start it in the first place. If you're looking to be a fashion photographer in any way, shape, or form, this is something that will elevate your portfolio. Why would you want to shoot with models from an agency? It's so much more work, there's more communication involved, but they're going to be more experienced, they're going to have a more particular look, and they're already going to be exposed to larger clients that can also work as a networking play for you as well. But should you shoot with them? Well, probably. If you want to be a fashion photographer, if you want to take something more than just photos of your friends, proper agency models are definitely the way to go. Like I said, they're going to know how to pose better, they're going to know how to be more in front of the camera. If you're less experienced posing people, this will make your life easier. Now, that said, it's not going to be an easy thing at first. You're going to have to put in more work to show agencies that you know what you're doing. Because some agencies may not even want to shoot with you at first, even if there's no money involved. But how do you start shooting with them? How do you get these agency models? How do you get these coveted faces? Basically, look at the top modeling agencies in whatever city you're in. For me, I live in Toronto. There's quite a few of them that I've started establishing relationships with. Something I started doing earlier on was finding the lesser, there's like a tier system that's not really a spoken thing. It's just you have your kind of the top agencies, and then you have ones that kind of go below and below and below until you have the ones that are really kind of scammy, and we don't like those. So we don't do those ones down here. You kind of start somewhere here and you go, hey, if you have any new faces, I would love to do a test shoot or a creative, or TFP is a phrase that sometimes is thrown around, time for print. It's from the film days. It basically means like time for photos. You exchange time for the end product. It's portfolio building. So then they go, actually, yeah, we have a couple new faces that we would love to have photographed. Here they are. And then you schedule some shoots. You basically are probably going to want to put together a concept, and then usually for these shoots, if I'm putting together the creative, I'll send over a mood board to the agent, who will then communicate with the model. I'm not usually communicating directly with the model. We're going back and forth with the agent. They're relaying all the info. We set it up, me to the agent relays the info to the model. From there, you can also get more involved in terms of having a team, a stylist, hair, makeup, the whole bit. But you can also just shoot with the person. Say the phrase you would use in this case is come hair makeup ready, and then you would just work off of that person's wardrobe. Or something I did in the early stages of my career is I would be my own stylist, go out to shops like, I don't know, Zara, something like that, purchase and return clothing. I would sometimes rack up like $1,000 of clothing, shoot all of it, keep all the tags on, hide them, Photoshop them out, whatever, return them. No questions, nothing. I was like, oh yeah, all these clothes for random women were a gift and I don't need them anymore. So that's one way to do that. But basically, if you don't have a solid portfolio yet, try finding friends, try finding freelance models who maybe don't have the strongest portfolio yet, and try to elevate it. Keep trying to shoot higher and higher, and creating photos that are professional, that are high quality, something that ideally would look like a job that you would have shot, essentially, but just there was no money behind it, type of thing. But shoot it like a client commissioned it. And then you can take those, because then your work will be high caliber enough where you can go to the modeling agencies and be like, yo, this is what I do. I want to shoot with this person for this concept. It's creative, whatever, portfolio, great. And if they agree with that and that makes sense, then great. You'll set it up, shoot it, send them the photos afterwards. You will probably send the agent the photos and they'll send them to the model. Sometimes I've become friends with the models and will send them directly as well. And then you just make sure to tag everyone, post it on social media, and all that kind of stuff. And then if you end up licensing things afterwards, that's a conversation that you have to have with the agent at that point. But if it's just for portfolio building, if it's just for your website, just for your Insta, then usually it's fine. It's not super complicated. It does take some work to get there when you're starting out, because they have, especially if you're looking at the higher end agencies, they have a kind of standard of quality that you kind of want your work to be aligned with. Otherwise, the model's going to be helping you a lot more than you're going to be helping the model, so it feels like an unfair exchange. This is where the whole thing of who pays who gets involved, because it's like if you have a higher end photographer and a new model that's going to need a lot of coaching, usually the model will pay the photographer. If you have a really high-end model but a new photographer, sometimes the photographer will pay the model, and so on and so forth. But if you're at the equal level, generally nobody's paid. It's just for portfolio purposes. Then from there, if you establish a really good connection with the agency, you can actually do paid test shoots for them, where the modeling agency will pay you to shoot that model, which is great because you're just doing creative shoots, you're doing tests, and you're doing a couple looks, usually about 3 looks or so per shoot. And then when you have a good relationship with the agency, you can make money off of it, which is also great. It gives you not only a portfolio that you can pitch to brands, to clients, etc., but you can also get paid for doing these test shoots. But that does take time and relationship building to do. But if you're looking at being a fashion photographer, you're looking at shooting with modeling agencies, and you don't really know where to start, this is how you do it. This is how I did it. This is how other photographers I know did it. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you liked this video, if you got some value out of it, consider subscribing. Remember to work hard, rest often, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.